Correction, your wife owns the property. Oh, hey guys. I got a lot of messages from some of the videos that I do when I talk about real estate in the Philippines. It's reminding me that really my wife owns the property. But that's not 100% true. You shouldn't get hung up on it. I'm not hung up on it, and that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. Hey guys, before we get started with today's video, I'd like to ask name two favors that I've been asking. One, that you'll consider giving the video a like, and two, subscribe if you haven't already. Helps the channel grow tremendously. We really appreciate it. We appreciate all who have done so, and we greatly appreciate if you would consider doing both of those things today. And also, please don't forget to hit that bell so you get notified of future uploads. We've got cool stuff planned for 2022, and we want you guys to be a part of it. So without further delay, let's get on with today's video. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of USA to Philippines Life channel with your host, me, Mike. And today we're going to be talking about a subject that comes up often in the comments whenever I bring up real estate or the fact that we own property in the Philippines. I'm always quickly reminded, correction, your wife owns it. I got news for you. First of all, I'm well aware of the situation over there. And I'm going to tell you a little story. Okay, I live in New Jersey. As most of you know, if you're new to the channel, yes, I live in New Jersey, a stone's throw from New York City, in the New York City metropolitan area. I'm born and raised in this area, and I was previously married for, 15 years, and prior to that, I was with that woman for about 9.5 years prior to getting married, and had the American dream, the house with the fence, the dog, the kids, the car, the good job, all of that stuff, all of that good stuff. I worked my butt off. I've been working nonstop since I'm 17 years old. I'm 54 now. I've never been out of work. If you want to count paper routes, I actually started working when I was 11. I had a huge paper route, and I made good money back in the day doing that, before I was even old enough to have a job. So I've been working my whole life. And when my marriage went south, by no fault of mine, divorce laws, they differ from state to state. And in New Jersey, pretty much the guy, the husband, gets the shellacking. And that's exactly what happened to me. I didn't do anything wrong. Didn't do anything to cause the divorce. It was just basically, I don't want to be married to you no more. That's the short version. I don't want to get into all the details, but yeah, it wasn't pretty, and I've talked about it before, and it definitely did a number on me. It took a long time for me to recover from that, but basically I had the rug pulled out from under me. I had seen my father go through it in the 70s, so I was a little more strategic about how I went about it. I'm not going to get into the details, but more or less, everything that I had was gone. I pretty much walked out of that house with my 2 bass guitars, a couple of computers, and my clothes. That's basically it. Yeah, I could have fought for more, but, you know, it just wasn't worth it. And after what I had been through, I just wanted to start over, and that's what I did. And I started at 0, and I was about in my early 40s. And I started out with nothing. I didn't even have a car. My ex took the car. She kept the car. She formally was given the car in the divorce. Moving forward, I was able to purchase a cheap car and slowly build myself back up, which I have done. So let's fast forward to today. Be celebrating 6 years of marriage with my lovely Filipino wife that you guys know, Larnie. She's in some of the videos. So the property thing in the Philippines. Okay. So You know, a lot of you guys know who you are if you're watching this. You guys remind me all the time. She owns the property. She owns the property. As I just explained, you know, pretty much here in the States. And again, if you live in a different state where you can walk away with more after your marriage doesn't go well, good on you. But in New Jersey, that wasn't the case. I will tell you, if you have the fear of your marriage going bad in the Philippines, or your Filipino wife walking out on you, or your Filipino wife just deciding that she doesn't want to be with you anymore, it doesn't work that way there, first of all. I mean, the divorce isn't so willy-nilly there. It's a big deal. And they really don't have divorce there. It's annulment. So I know the laws are changing with that stuff, but right now, it's very difficult. I was married in the Philippines. I wasn't married here in the States. I married my wife in the Philippines. So I feel very secure. The property is considered conjugal property. Correct. If something happens to my wife, I'll have a short time to sell the property. I cannot own the property. They will give me time to sell the property if, God forbid, something like that ever happened. But they can also have children come in with you. There's other things you can do, depending on your relationship with the family. And I would caution the guys out there, if you're not with anyone in the Philippines yet and you're looking to meet a Filipina, choose wisely. Choose wisely. All right? It's real easy to meet a pretty Filipino over there or online. I met a bunch of them before I got to my wife. I mean, some beautiful Filipinas. You know, a lot of them were just looking for money and a ticket here. You weed them out. And for me, it was being that I'm a person of faith, I've said that before, that enabled me to filter out the ones that I felt were going to be a problem. And I think I successfully did. My wife's awesome. She works her butt off. We have a great marriage, and I'm looking forward to having a great retirement with her. So for you guys that can't get past that fact that we don't own the property, you're not the king of the castle over there, then you shouldn't really go into that over there. Get yourself a rental, get yourself a condo. You can buy a condo over there. You can buy a house and long-term lease the land. You can own the house. You just can't own the property. So you long-term lease the land for 25 or 50 years or something like that. And you can own the house there. And then once your time in this world is done, who cares? But, you know, there's different ways of going about it. So my purpose of this video is to say, don't get hung up on that. All right? Don't get hung up on that. And if you are, make a different plan. And there's a lot of us guys, you know, I watch another vlogger from time to time. He's over there. He's investing a lot of his time and money into building this huge house over there. It's an amazing house. It's an amazing project. You might know who I'm talking about. I don't like to mention other channels, but you probably, if you're watching me, there's a good chance you're watching him. He spends part of his time in the States and part of his time over there. But obviously, he, like me, is not hung up on the fact that he doesn't own the property like you would own the property here in the U.S. So that's what I wanted to say today. Just, you know, you guys want to keep reminding me. I mean, that's why the last video I did about the taxes, I put a disclaimer up over my shoulder, because I get hit with these comments. It's like, your wife owns the property. Well, yes, we know, but you have a good marriage with a good Filipina, you don't look at it that way. And I just commented to somebody else Listen, I'm in my mid 50s. I was watching another vlogger, another guy. He's over there that I like. I watch him all the time. He's older. Kind of look at his advice as advice. I look at his videos as advice because he's ahead of me in his life. He's 10 plus years ahead of me, and had similar turbulent times here in the States, and he's there now. So God bless him. I'm glad he's having a good retirement, and I appreciate when he gets in front of the camera and he talks to us about his experiences and where he's at over there. And then he rents. Probably because he's an older guy, it was better for him to just rent. And then from what he was saying, he doesn't want to be tied down. Every situation is different. And I look at it this way. My first marriage in life was a disaster. I tried to do all the right things and it didn't go well. I got 3 adult children who don't talk to me by no fault of mine. My door's open to them, but they don't talk to me. All right? I learned to live with that. But I have 2 beautiful stepchildren in this marriage. I love them very much, and I look at it this way. My presence, my brief presence in their life has given them help to give opportunity for their mom, who is here with me, working her tail off for those kids. Okay, she's not just relying on me to do it. She's working her tail off for those kids. But together, we're going to be able to really provide a nice foundation for them. And part of that's going to be that home in the Philippines. And when I'm gone, they'll still have that. And I'm happy that my presence in their lives enabled all of this. Because they're wonderful people. I love them dearly. And I'm happy to help. So I don't get hung up on the fact that, well, she owns the house, so, I don't get hung up on that. I don't get hung up on that. And I understand that it's hard for some guys to get past that. But I'm hoping that me getting in front of the camera right now and saying what I'm saying is going to help guys to understand. Maybe there's some guys that can't get past it, but you're hearing where I'm coming from. And I'm just shooting from the hip. I'm not reading off a script. I'm just talking to you guys, heart to heart. Get past it. And if you don't feel that you can't get past it with the woman that you're with, then you're with the wrong woman. Plain and simple. And I would suggest, and I know not everybody is, but as a man of faith, that was the criteria for my future wife when I was single. Whether she was American, Filipina, Indian, African, I really didn't have any specific country in mind. My heart was, hey, listen, God, I didn't follow you the first time, and I thought with my other head, and I was with a woman that my family and friends told me not to be with, and I didn't listen to anybody, and I know best, and I followed that. I know best, and I didn't, and I failed miserably. This time around, different approach. Different approach, different mindset, and I put my fishing pole in a different pond and ended up in the Philippines pond. I didn't realize that before I met my wife, I had a lot of Filipino influences that came into my life before meeting my wife. So perhaps that was the good Lord preparing me, opening my mind to Filipino culture, my heart and mind. I'm glad that he did. I'm glad that he did, if that's what he did, because it really opened me up to realize how wonderful Filipino culture is and how wonderful Filipino people are. Because if you ask me what's my favorite thing about the Philippines, I'm going to tell you, and it's God's honest truth from my heart, the people. Filipino people. It's a beautiful country. It has a lot to offer retirees. You hear me talking about that in my other videos. But the best thing about the Philippines is the people. I love you, Filipinos. You're wonderful. From my heart. I love being there. I'm a different person when I'm in the Philippines. When I'm here in the States, I just keep to myself. I go to work. I come home. People are nasty here. Not everybody, but most people have a cutthroat, backstabbing attitude around here, especially in the workplace and in the workforce. Let's say the workforce. I don't want to single out my place of the workforce. People have their jobs around here, and I talk to people who work, and everybody says the same thing. It's not the job, it's the people. So what does that tell you? All right? What does that tell you? You know, you don't want to go out because you don't want to deal with nasty people, the way they drive, going to the store, the way people act in the stores. It's not like that in the Philippines. It's a lot easier. It's a lot laid back. The people will smile at you on the street. Okay? It's a nice place to be. And that's what I love about it. And it's the people that make it so beautiful. The geography and all that other stuff comes later. It's the people that will make you love the Philippines. So with that, I hope that this little heart to heart from the hip about, yes, I know I don't own the property, my wife does, that's partially true. It's partially not true. As I said, it's conjugal property. I do have some rights there, but they're like this big, you know, which in New Jersey, it's not that much different, because I've been through the meat grinder in New Jersey. So as long as you're happy, right? I want to be happy. Don't you guys want to be happy? I want to be happy. And that's what this is all about. So going to wrap this video up. If you stayed to the end, I'm very thankful and appreciative. And if you did, that means you liked the video. So if you liked the video, please give it a like. Subscribe. Smash that subscribe button, as they say. And hit that bell so you get notified of the future uploads that we've got planned. And we got plenty of them planned. Hopefully 2022, you're going to get to see us head to the Philippines for the better part of a month. We're looking at November. So we're going to be doing things leading up to that. We're going to take you guys with us as much as we can. We're going to go to New York. We got to go to the consulate, the Philippine consulate. We got to deal with some business over there before we can go. We've also got to go to USCIS. Obviously, we can't bring the cameras inside those places, but I think we're going to try to take it on the road those days that we do those things. So we got that kind of stuff planned, and my wife is going to be joining us. We're going to try to get a live stream schedule going. So I apologize if we've not done that yet. I have the camera. We're all ready to go with that. I do want her to do that with me. With that, as we always like to say at USA to Philippines Life channel, wherever you are in the world, stay well, stay safe, stay positive. Don't dwell on negative things like you can't own property in the Philippines. And take care of yourselves. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you real soon in another video. Thanks. Take care.